The Coastal Way is Wales's answer to the perfect coastal road trip. It's 180 miles and it snakes down the Welsh west coast. But is it any good? Castles. That's one of the many reasons you might want to do the Coastal Way road trip. This is our first stop. It's a pretty cool castle. You can see it from down the beach, this side and from the other side. Pretty nice. This place that we're in now is called Crickheath. The scenery down that way is gorgeous. The castle looks cool. The beach is cool. The town's cool, and it's got probably the coolest little postbox coat hat thing I've ever seen. Just a question for anyone watching the videos, because I don't know the answer to it myself, which is rare. How busy is Wales in the summer? The reason I ask that is obviously Scotland's busy in the summer. There's a lot of tourists and all the rest of it. However, Scotland is miles away from most people. Presumably having like the rest of England within a few hours drive from Wales, it must get absolutely rammed. Our rating system is based on the following 5 categories: scenery, driving views, infrastructure, things to do, and park for night coverage. Each is then scored out of 10, with 10 being the maximum points, and at the end of the trip we add the scores together and that gives us the road trip's final score. We then put the scores on a leaderboard so you can see which road trips are the best and which ones is best to avoid. So I thought I'd make a coffee while Danny goes to try and find us some fish and chips, and we have got an issue that I do need to discuss because, well, realistically, this whole section, I wouldn't bother visiting it. Now what I mean by that is, well, realistically, the recipe for these beaches are water, a little bit of gravelly stones that they're classing as a beach, then a road, then a town. The only variance is sometimes the road is on the other side and the town is there, but the rest stays the same. So once you've been to one of the beaches, you've basically been to all of them. Just pick one that you like the look of the most with a better looking town, whichever, they're all similar, and then visit that one and just skip the rest. In search of better beaches, we're going to skip this whole section and head down south to try and find something with a little bit of character, hopefully. We're here at Aberridi or something, where there's like a blue lagoon. Apparently, from what we've read, people dive in and jump in, cliff diving or whatever it would be classed as, to this lagoon. What? Coastaneering, possibly. I don't know if she's just making words up again or not. She does that on the odd occasion. So we're going to see if we can figure out where the hell you would even jump into something like this, because it looks proper rugged and sketchy. So it's a thing, it's official, there's a sign that says you can as well. I think the only thing blue in this lagoon though would be me if I jumped in. It's frozen. Presumably at some point there was some sort of way of getting all the way along to there, and that's where people jump in from. I did notice that there's like a route that goes over the top, but it doesn't seem to be any way of getting down, so I have no idea how you do it or whether it's even a thing anymore. But there's loads of little ledges, but you're not going to be able to walk to them, so unless people like jump off further around. But the signs are there, that's how you do it, so if you tapped enough and you want to jump in, then crack on. But obviously, being the brave person that I am, I thought I'd give it a try and see how cold it is in this weather. Oh, sweet Jesus, that was cold. It almost looks like I didn't do it because the wind's obviously dried us to the point where I'm bone dry, and obviously I put my coat back on. But I have to say, I'm not one to shy away from things like that. The location that you're seeing on screen now is a place called Portmeirion. We visited it last time we came to Wales, and to be fair, it's such a strange and unique location. It's well worth a visit if you've never been there before. At the time of recording this video, an adult ticket costs £10 and kids tickets cost £5, so it's not the most expensive place you'll go, and you will get a couple of hours, so I would recommend popping it on your list of things to go and see. We're heading now right to the bottom, down the southern part to a place called White Sands Beach, in search of obviously some white sand, because everything down that coast hasn't been particularly great, so I'm looking forward to this one. White Sand Bay, there was no white sand. In fact, there was no sand at all, the tide's in. So we're headed up into the hills, just to the sort of west of the bay, in search of some sand hopefully, and if not, just something a little bit prettier. Very rugged coastline though, looks pretty cool, reminds us a lot of Scotland, which is where my heart is. What a cool noise that is. Sounds lovely. So the Welsh Coastal Way, you have been a massive mixed bag, to be honest. Not even close to the king of Welsh road trips for me, which is the Cambrian Way. However, scores: scenery
7.
6. Driving scenery.
It's a very hard.
Driving scenery.
7.
6 for me. Infrastructure.
8.5.
8.5. Ooh, I'd say a 7.
8.
7 for me, to be honest. Things to do.
I'm going to say an 8. There's lots to do, but
There's
they're the
not, though.
same.
There's lots of the same thing to do. It's like copied and pasted in a slightly different looking town. And then Park for Night, I can't give it as high of a score as the Cambrian Way, because although there is a decent chunk of park ups, they're kind of up north or down south, there's nothing really in the middle, because it is just coastal towns and there's not a lot of space to park without being basically next to people's houses. So I'll give Park for Night coverage an 8 for that one, but we've enjoyed it. It's been nice, but I wouldn't do it again.
I wouldn't do it as one road trip.
Nah.
I'd do it as part of other road trips.
200%.
But they're consistently colourful.
They
All
are
the
colourful,
little towns,
yes.
which are beautiful.
Very colourful. They've went in the little B&Q kids coloured paint aisle and just went mental, because some of the colours are very vivid.
It works. So.
It works. At least they're not grey.
Woo!
But anyway, we need to find the park up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We've got more of this kind of stuff coming. And if you are subscribed, better